Hello everyone, how are you doing? What's going on? No, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, today is what date? What's the date today? September 13th, Wednesday, September 13th, the year 2023. The time now is 10 minutes before 10 to 9 p.m. Okay, usually until a few days ago, I recorded my voice after 10 when my daughter goes out to walk, to do her exercise. I should have said that after she went out to do her exercise, which is walking, but I changed my schedule about several days ago, and now I'm doing this practice a little earlier than that. So it's still before 9, and my daughter is on the 3rd floor. I'm in the 2nd floor. And usually I'm not good at speaking English in front of her. So if she's at home, it makes me feel a bit nervous, and I don't feel like speaking English. I don't know why. I'm a bit self-conscious, and since she doesn't speak English, I don't want to be sounding like I am boasting or something like that. I don't know if she even feels like that, because I've never asked her about this, because it's a bit embarrassing. But my schedule, my daily schedule, or my daily schedules, I don't know, has been becoming more and more efficient, because I have started doing my practice a little earlier. So in order to start my practice earlier, I have to finish my chore. After dinner, I ate dinner, and I have to do the dishes, and I have to clean the counter or sink or whatever. And since I want to start my practice as early as I can, so I try to finish all the chores as soon as possible, and it makes my schedule a bit more efficient, which is really good for me. Okay, and yesterday I was talking about the Italian guy who is a non-native English teacher, who is also a very popular YouTuber, whom I happened to find just yesterday. And he said that in order to improve your speaking skills, you have to write, because when you speak, you have to make sentences in your mind very quickly, right? And if you can't write those sentences, how could you speak them, right? Because you have to make sentences much, much more quickly in your mind, right? So that's why if you practice writing, it leads you to be able to speak English more smoothly. And he suggested that in his video that we should write today's schedule just after we wake up. We get up. And the first thing in the morning, it only takes 5 or 10 minutes. We should spend 5 or 10 minutes writing what we are going to do today. Like, I'm going to the library to return some books, and then I'll stop by supermarket to do some shopping, to do some grocery shopping. And then after coming back home, I'm going to do some reading, and then I'm going to study for about 2 hours, or I'm going to watch some dramas on Netflix or something like that. And this way, you can use future tense, right? You can make sentences. You're going to make sentences using future tense. And then he hasn't said this, but I imagine that he would say something like, maybe it's good for you to write something, what you did today, just before going to bed, right? This is what I imagined, because I haven't watched any of his videos where he was explaining this yet, so I just imagined. And then you make sentences in using the past tense, right? And I think it's a very good practice, and I really want to do this myself. And yesterday I did my speaking practice, right? And but every time I upload my video, each video to my channel, I always write something in the description box. But last night I was too sleepy to do it, so I decided to do it this morning after I wake up. And after I wake up first thing in the morning, I wrote a story about what I had been speaking, about what I have been speaking in my previous video. And it was pretty long. I didn't realize it was going to be that long when I was writing it, but it turned out to be pretty long, like 4,700 words or something. It was pretty long, and in the description box, you can just write as long as 5,000 words. So I was almost beyond it, but I was happy that I finished writing before that, to the max or to the ultimate. I don't know how to say this, but okay. And it was a good practice for myself. And this can be said to all the people, everybody, but your speaking skill is not as good as your writing skills mostly. This cannot be said to everybody, right? Some people can speak better than their writing, right? They write. It happens. But some people, like myself, my speaking is not as good as my writing. My writing is not very good. But still, my speaking is not equivalent to my writing. My writing is better than my speaking. So it means that if I can write a story, I cannot speak as it is. And I don't try to memorize it either in the first place, because memorizing doesn't help. At some point, you have to memorize sentences, but when it comes to acquiring the language, memorization does not help much. Rather, you have to expose yourself to the language, and you acquire the language unintentionally. I forgot the word. Subconsciously. So that's the best way, because that's how you learned your mother tongue. Yeah, of course, acquiring your mother tongue and learning your second language or learning your foreign languages are not the same, because if it would be fantastic if you could learn your foreign languages like you did you mastered your mother tongue, but it just takes time. It's not efficient. But still, your language learning should be closer to your language learning should be as efficient as possible, because you can't take that long, right? Still, it's very important to learn the language subconsciously, because if you learn the language subconsciously, it lasts longer. It sinks in, right? Sinks in your mind, and it is ingrained in your mind, and you will, it makes it more difficult for you to forget what you've learned. So, in this sense, forcing yourself to memorize as many sentences as possible does not help as much as it looks. That's what I learned from my own experiences. And in this respect, even though I can't speak, now my daughter was coming down from the third floor to the first floor to go to the restroom or toilet or bathroom, and I had to stop the recording. As I said earlier, I was a bit self-conscious, and when she's getting close to me, I tend to stop the recording. And where was I? Yeah, I should have said that forcing yourself to memorize as many English sentences as possible isn't as helpful as it looks. Is this a right sentence? I hope so, though. And in my case, I can write better than I speak. And I cannot speak as well as I write. But still, writing is very important to me. Writing what I'm going to talk about beforehand to organize my thoughts is very important and also helpful for me to improve my speaking. So I will try more from now on. I used to write more before, but I haven't done as much writing as I had been. I can't finish the sentence. For the last few years, I didn't write English at all, almost at all. I used to write a lot of English posts or a lot of posts on my Facebook in English. I really enjoyed writing something in English, but not for the last few years. But I love writing, and once I start writing, I tend to be absorbed in it so much, and I can't stop writing. And it's not that I can keep writing without stopping or without looking up in the dictionary or something like that. No, totally not. I often have to stop to look for some words and expressions that I don't know or I'm not sure, to look up in the dictionary. Oh, she's coming up. Where she's now? She's in the bathroom to wash her hands now. Yeah, she's coming up. I'll stop. Okay, she's going up to the 3rd floor now, and she will be there for the next, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. She will be in her room, probably doing something while watching YouTube or watching something on Netflix. And then she will be coming down again to take a walk. Okay, until then, I have some time of freedom. I can give myself freedom to do whatever I like. As I explained before, somewhere in my past videos, where I am now is an open space, which is a living room, and without any doors, so I cannot be secluded. Is it okay? Secluded. It can be a bit stressful because I'm a person who wants to be alone, who wants to do something alone. I'm a loner. Loner. Is my pronunciation okay? Loner. It's very difficult to pronounce this word. Okay, anyway, where was I? So, yeah, writing is very important, but now until a little while ago, I didn't write as much as I used to. About a few years ago. But now I'm back. Totally I'm back. And when I start writing, I tend to absorbed in it, and I lose the track of time completely. And this morning, I spent all morning writing the story. I put the description box for my previous video. It was a pretty long story, and I might have some mistakes, or in my story, sentences cannot sound very natural because I am practicing, right? I'm now practicing. So if there's something that sound a little bit weird, strange, unnatural, I think it can be helped. That's all I can do now. And I'm not embarrassed to let you see it because I'm improving. I will be improving. My writing will be better from now in the future. So I'm positive about it. Okay, and today, before I started this practice, I wrote what happened to me today. What had happened to me today. I'm going to talk about it, but I don't think that I can speak. I can tell the story as much as my writing does, but I'll try, okay? Today, while I was in the living room this morning doing some writing work, the doorbell rang, and it was a delivery man, and he had a package for us, for my house, okay? And via over the intercom, I requested the delivery person, to put the package on the doorstep or in front of the entrance door, because I always do it for them. No, I always ask them to do it for me. And he did. I didn't sign the package because I didn't see him in person, right? I was on the second floor and the delivery person is in front of the door, and we didn't see each other. And I just requested him to put the package at the front door. I always do, just like I always do. And he did it. And I walked down the stairs to get to the entrance and open the entrance door to see the package, to pick up the package. And then I found two packages. One is flat thing, packaged in a cardboard envelope. Amazon. It was from Amazon anyway. It was from Amazon, and Amazon, recently used that kind of envelope made of cardboard. It's a soft type envelope made of cardboard like paper, and they use the envelope to put some flat items or very small items. And the other is the box, and probably that was the package that the delivery person had just put at the door. And I wonder what I had ordered, because it didn't ring a bell, okay? Because I do quite a lot of online shopping, and I didn't keep the track of everything. I'm kind of loose and lazy. I'm not so tight. I procrastinate. I tend to procrastinate Procrastinate. Is it okay? Procrastinate. I tend to procrastinate things quite often. I'm not rigid. I'm meticulous, but at the same time, I'm pretty lazy, and I don't understand what I ordered. And because one main reason for this is that I love surprises. If I make myself oblivious to the items that I ordered, suddenly the doorbell rings, and it makes me surprised, and it makes me happy, right? Excited. So that's why I try not to keep the track of my orders on purpose, intentionally. Okay, anyway, the box, I had no idea what was inside, and I took a look at the shipping label on the box, and I found someone else's name on it, and I was like, oh, not again. The name looked familiar to me. It was the name of the beauty parlor about 3 meters away from my house, and somehow we share the same address. I don't know why. So for the past several years, since I started living in this house with my father, who passed away 2 years ago, this actually happened a few times already, because we share the same address, and delivery person who are not good at, who are not familiar with this area, tend to deliver the wrong package to either of us. And it happened again. Okay. And I felt desperate. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know the best way I should do. And then maybe I could have go outside and looked for the delivery man right away, but I thought it was too late, so I gave up the idea. And then the next idea which came into my mind was, why don't I call the delivery company to let them know what had happened, what happened, and ask them to come to our house again to pick the package up, so that they can deliver the package to the right addressee. Addressee. Is it okay? Addressee. To the person who was supposed to get the package originally. I could do that, and I usually do that. But when I look at the telephone number written on the shipping label, I learned that the office of the delivery company was located in Osaka, pretty far away from my area. And I knew that it had nothing to do with, it wasn't a big deal, right? It had nothing to do with my contacting them, because I was able to just I could just call them to let them know, right? And distance didn't matter, right? But still, I was a bit hesitant. I don't know why. And the next thing I came up with was, why not I bring it to the beauty parlor, which is just 3 meters away myself, because it's easier, right? But I was in my pajamas still. It was not exactly my pajamas, but I was just wearing very comfortable clothes, and I cannot wear it to go out. And I have to change clothes, and I didn't wear my makeup, and I was not presentable at all. So I thought that it was going to take at least 2 or 3 minutes for me to get ready to go out to do it. And I was a bit hesitant to do that because it was such a hassle, right? But I guess I just thought that that was going to be the best and the easiest way for me to solve this situation. And I decided to do it. And first I changed my clothes to a little bit more presentable ones. And then I combed my hair. I didn't wash my face, but I thought I was all right. And I decided to get out with a box in my hands. Oh, anyway, the shipping label said that some cosmetics were in the box, and it was pretty heavy for the size of the box. Anyway, and I went out of the house, and then there happened to be a construction going on just in front of my house, and it was really noisy. And the person, I think I should call him a safeguard. This person is a person who is standing close to the construction site and control the traffic. And the person smiled at me and saying that something like, "Oh, we are sorry for the trouble," or something like that. And I smiled back at him saying, "Not at all, no problem," or something like that. And I started walking toward the beauty parlor, which was just 30 meters away. But I've never been that beauty parlor myself. I usually go to some other beauty parlors in my neighborhood because the beauty parlor was too close, and I somehow don't want to go there, so I've never been there. And I came in front of the shop, and I tried to open the door, and the owner of the beauty parlor was inside the shop. I was able to look at his face through the window. And anyway, I never spoke to him in my life. I had never spoke to him in my life. And he was like a guy in his 30s or maybe early 40s. Actually, there are two beauty parlors next to each other alongside the street. And the beauty parlor on the right side is owned by his father. There are two beauty parlors next to each other, and one is run by this gentleman or senior person who is probably in his already 70s. He's a very energetic man, bold and a bit short, but very energetic and talkative. And I have known about him since my childhood because he has been running his beauty parlor since I was a child. And I've been to his beauty parlor sometimes when I was younger, but not anymore anyway. And his son, who is in his late 30s or early 40s, started running his own beauty parlor next to his father's beauty parlor. So it's so funny that there are two beauty parlors next to each other, and the owners of those shops are relatives, father and son. I hope that I'm making myself understood. And I was going to the shop run by the son, okay, who is either late in his 30s or early 40s. And anyway, I spoke to him as I opened the door. I'm from my neighborhood. I'm your neighbor, but I'm here to bring this to you because it was delivered by mistake to my house, and I said that I should have checked it before receiving it, but I didn't, so I'm so sorry. I didn't apologize. I didn't need to apologize, but in Japan, we tend to apologize more often, even when we don't have to, because it just shows how polite we are. And the people in America would be surprised to hear this, but because I hear that they don't apologize as much as we do. This is because of the difference of our cultures, right? Okay, and I apologized to him, saying that I should have been careful about this. I didn't check before receiving it or something like that. And he said, no, not at all. I'm sorry that this happened twice or three times already, right? And I really hope that, he said that, I really hope that this won't happen again or something like that. And I hand the box to him, but he was just attending his customer's hair, and his hands are wet with some chemical or something. Some conditioner or some oil or something. And so he didn't want to touch the box with his hands. So he didn't use his palms, but he used his arms to get it. It was quite funny though. And I successfully passed the box to him, and my mission was completed. And I was quite happy about it because I was able to help someone my own way, right? Myself. And after I came back home, I talked about this to my daughter. And my daughter actually was asleep while this incident was happening. And she didn't know about it. So I talked about it. So that's why I couldn't ask her what I should do when this thing had happened. Anyway, and after she woke up, I talked to her about it, and she said that maybe I should have called the delivery company to let them know first, because otherwise they won't know that this had happened in the first place, right? And in this way, they couldn't be careful, they couldn't be more careful, so that a similar thing would not happen in the future, right? Yeah, I agreed with that. I agreed with her. I agreed that, I should have called the delivery company first and let them know and ask them what I should do, or ask them to send someone to pick up the package so that it could be delivered to the right addressee, right? But anyway, maybe I really wanted to bring it to the beauty parlor myself, because that way it would make me feel that I was of great help, right? And anyway, yeah, this is what happened to me this morning. It's already been 41 minutes since I started speaking, so maybe it's time for me to go. But there are some other things that I wanted to talk about. About the 2 packages delivered today. I said that 2 things, I was able to find 2 things delivered at the door, right? And the other one, which was in the card box like envelope, it was a book from Amazon, and it was the book that I had ordered on Amazon the day before, yesterday. And it was about English collocations. The title of the book is English Collocations in Use. And actually, the wrong one was delivered by chance. I ordered that one, the same series, for intermediate, but the book I got today was the same series for advanced. And I wanted to make a complaint, or complaint about the misdelivery. I wanted to contact Amazon about this misdelivery, and I usually use English to contact them. I never use telephone. I never call them. I always contact them by email or messages. And anyway, I used English to tell them that I got the wrong item. The colors of the 2 books are too similar, so I think that must have caused the misunderstanding, I guess. But I meant to buy the lower level, which is intermediate, right? But now I have the book for advanced, and I thought that it was meant to come to me. Is my English okay? Is my sentence okay? Even though that I ordered the intermediate level one, but the advanced one came to me, right? I thought that it was destiny, so I decided not to return the book because anyway, I can keep it for my future use, right? And I tried to look inside, and if it turns out to be too difficult for me, I thought that if it would look too difficult for me, maybe I could keep it for my future use and I could buy another one. I mean, for the intermediate level, and do it first, and then do the one I have kept for my future use, which is this one. I mean, I have now. And anyway, and finally, I started using this book, to study collocations. And this book was introduced by the Italian guy, about whom I was talking about in the beginning of this video. He introduced this book in his videos, saying that if you want to build up your vocabulary, don't try to memorize or don't try to learn individual word. Instead, you have to learn words in collocations, because that way you know how to use words more naturally, and it leads you to make your speaking or writing. Collocations are very useful for writing in the first place, and yes, it helps improve your speaking skills also, because your writing and your speaking are interchangeable, not interchangeable, I don't know how to say it, connected each other, related, right? So that's why learning collocations is good for both your writing and speaking. And I bought this book. I ordered this book right away as soon as he was introducing. As soon as I saw him introducing this book. And the next day, it was delivered to my house, but the label was wrong. I got the one with the wrong label, but probably it turned out to be right. And I'm happy to study or learn collocations with this book. Okay, wow, I'm getting tired. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow too, okay? Look forward to my next video. Okay, thank you very much and have a great rest of your week. Okay, bye for now.